the problem?
What's the generation gap?
Cause I keep trying to figure it out. Oh no,
Generation gap.
oh no. Tell me baby, what's the problem?
Generation gap.
I'm only picking up what you're putting down. You'll be tripping, I don't know what about. So what's the problem right now?
Generation
Okay,
gap.
okay, now hold up.
Generation gap.
Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to Generation Yahusha. I'm Josiah, and this is my brother Micah. Today we're going through chapter 3 of our book, The Generation Gap. And today, this chapter is all about the generation gap in the bride, in the people that believe in Yahusha and who are immersed. So last week we went through the generation gap in the world, what goes on between the older and the younger generations, the behavior and what they believe. And so today we're doing the same thing, going through that, but in the bride. So, Mike, you want to read the first paragraph?
Yep. Is there a generation gap in the bride? Yes, there is a generation gap in the bride, the same as in the world. In Yahusha, we should all be equal. No one is better than each other. This is not happening everywhere, mainly between parents and their children. Children should be given respect, just as children should respect their parents. Parents are there to help and provide for their children while they're growing up. This does not mean they own them and can do whatever they want to their kids. Once the children are grown up or mentally mature, they should be treated as equals, not put down or told to be quiet just because they are younger. Yahusha often talks to the younger kids and gives them things to do and say, so they should be listened to.
So, that's something that parents have to face. They do not own their children. Yahusha owns everyone, and you're there to help them grow up and teach them, but then once they get old enough and mentally mature enough, you kind of have to let them do their own thing and respect them, and you're still there teaching them and helping them with things and loving them, but you're not controlling them and forcing them to do things. You're there just to love them and show respect, just as they should be showing respect to you as well.
So yeah, you don't want to be forcing them to say they don't want to believe in Yahusha. You can't force them to do that. You have to respect their opinion and trust that Yahusha will bring them back in. And forcing them to do and believe in Yahusha and do things that they don't want to do is just going to push them away further.
Yeah.
But this also goes for the children. They should respect their parents and elders, just as the 5th commandment says, respect your mother and father, so your days on this earth shall be prolonged. Children are to show love and respect for their parents and elders. Everyone is equal in Yahusha.
So, yeah, it's everyone should be showing respect to each other. In Yahusha, everyone is equal. So, that's not happening. The older generations, all they want is respect. They expect you to respect them without them showing you respect. That's what's going on. But that's not how it should be. The older generations should be setting an example for the younger generations, being showing how Yahusha was and showing respect first. That's the better example, and that's what they should be doing. But that's not what's happening. They just expect that everyone respects them and does what they say, and that they should just have control. And that's what's really going on.
Yeah. Another thing to note, children are going to school and listening to their friends and peers around them, getting to a worldly mindset. This doesn't mean you should keep them away from other people, but just make it aware to them, and teach them the right way to behave, so they don't get caught up in all the wrong things. Yeah, so kids at school, or just kids in the world in general, most of them are in the world, and so they're going to be a bad influence on your children, and they'll be teaching them the wrong thing. So if you're in there teaching them not to do those things, and that those things are bad, they won't be listening to their peers and friends around them and doing the wrong thing. They'll know, I'm not supposed to do this, this isn't what Yahusha wants me to do, he wants me to do the right thing, and they'll avoid doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So now we got the next paragraph. Coming together in one mindset. As Yahusha's bride, we must all be in unity and understand the truth. We must treat each other as equals so that we can receive his message and learn the right way to behave, so that when he comes back, we will get to be with him. To do this, we must all come together in one mindset. There must be peace and joy. No matter what generation, everyone should show each other respect and dignity. You can see below in these few scriptures written by Paul that the bride needs to come together, no matter what age, race, gender, etc., and be in agreement with YAHUSHA'S word, and doing so without arguments and complaints. Yeah, so everyone should be together in one mindset, in agreement, showing respect for each other. There shouldn't be a generation gap in the bride. That everyone should be respecting each other. That's not happening.
Yeah.
So there's a couple scriptures here. So we've got 1 Corinthians 1:10. Brothers and sisters, by the authority of our Master YAHUSHA Messiah, I beg all of you to agree with each other. You should not be divided into different groups. Be completely joined together, again, with the same kind of thinking and the same purpose. So there, it's written right there. You should be together, joined together. No gap, no generation gap. Everyone should be together and agreeing on his word. So then the second scripture, Philippians 2:14-15. Do everything without complaining or arguing, so that you'll be blameless and pure, children of YAHUSHA, without any fault. So coming together without arguing with other people, without complaining about things. It's, just agreeing, being in one mindset together. Imagine what it would be like if the bride was all in one mindset like this. Because I can tell you now, that's not what's happening. It's not going on in the bride.
You can see it. You can see with the Lou White, what he's doing. He's stealing people away from the right path and what YAHUSHA wants them to do. He's taking them and making them do the wrong thing. And that's part of how the generation gap in the bride. He's trying to trick everyone into thinking he's perfect, he's chosen by YAHUSHA, when really he's corrupted by Satan. He's being controlled, and he's putting it out there that people can be saved if they go to him for help. But he's just horrible what he's doing to everyone, and he's dragging people off of the right path.
So now we're going into the next part, deception of the devil.
Deceive, Hebrew meaning to thieve, to deceive, carry away, indeed, secretly bring, steal, steal away, get by stealth, to deride, to cheat, deal deceitfully, deceive, mock, to lie, fail, be found a liar, make a liar, liar, lie, lying, be in vain. Scripture, Ephesians 5:6. Let no one deceive you with empty words, for because of such things, YAHUSHA's wrath comes on those who are disobedient. 2 Corinthians 11:13. For such people are false apostles, deceitful workers, masquerading as apostles of YAHUSHA. Jeremiah 9:6. You live in the midst of deception. In their deceit they refuse to acknowledge me, declares the Master. Satan is deceiving the world. He controls them. What chances do younger generations have with this around them? I recently spoke out against these carpetbaggers. This made them very angry. Because of this, they threw scriptures and nitpicked my wording of how I said things to try and make me seem like the one doing wrong. Above is the definition of what these carpetbaggers' goal is. They are sneaky. They try to pull you away from YAHUSHA with lies, trying to make them look right. They walk around all high and mighty, thinking they are better than everyone. Why? Because they have memorized the scripture? This is deceitful and cruel. They twist the words you speak and get angry when you call them out on their lies. In the Hebrew definition, it says to steal, and that is what they are doing. They are stealing away the bride and bringing them into sin. They make it seem like they are right because they are doing all the old traditionals, when in fact, they are the opposite. They are working for the devil. The younger generations are not being told this, because if they know, then the carpetbaggers' teachers no longer have any power. But they do not have any real power. The only person with real power is Yahusha. Without their lies, they are left open and not ready for their punishment when it comes. And it will come. Yahusha says all lies will be brought into the light, so we must ignore them and keep running our race. Don't let those preachers, teachers, pastors, rabbis, etc. get in the way of your experience with Yahusha. Don't let them slow you down. They are standing in the doorway, and we must fight through them to get to Yahusha. This is one of the many trials Yahusha has for us. Knowing this will make it much easier for us to identify these carpetbaggers and avoid them. Using the 3 rules, we can beat Satan and be with Yahusha. The 3 rules are: don't take anything personally, let everyone have it, and don't make excuses. So this is, once again, this goes back with the whole Lou White thing, what he's doing. He's doing all of this. He's stealing away the bride from Yahusha, and he's corrupting everything, and then he lies, he acts all passive and nice about everything, and you really have to know what he's talking about and really have to look into it to see what he's actually saying. And yeah, in all his messages he acts real nice and passive, but really behind that there's a curtain. Behind that curtain is being very aggressive and trying to steal the bride away from Yahusha. He's very sneaky like that, and we have to recognize what he's doing, because there's not just him, there's a bunch of people out there doing this stuff, and we need to recognize what they're doing so we don't get affected by this and we don't let it happen to us.
Yeah, and you can see recently what Mike is just talking about here, the experience he had a couple months ago is happening again. Our dad, Mark Davidson, he's put out a bunch of videos calling out Lou White on his behavior and what he's doing, and all through the comment section you can see Lou White and all of his people that follow him just putting him, our father, down and saying all this bad stuff about him, and that's happening because he's calling Lou White out on what he's doing. So you have to make sure you use the 3 rules as well. As Mike said, don't take anything personal. So if anyone says anything to you, whether it is good or bad, don't take it personal. Just, take it in. Know that it's either Yahusha or a demon. Checking your thoughts. Then let everyone have it. Don't try and argue with people. Just let them have it. If they're trying to come at you, just don't. Just let them have it. And don't make excuses. Excuses are lies. So if you're making an excuse for your behavior or anything, you're lying. And that's pretty easy to understand, those 3 rules. And they you put them to yourselves. You don't say to other people, oh, you're not using the 3 rules. You put them to yourselves. Am I doing the 3 rules? And you can use them in any situation, with anyone around you. And yeah. So now we're going to go on to the next paragraph. Beware the carpetbaggers. What is a carpetbagger? Carpetbaggers are those who know the truth about Yahusha, but choose to mix it with religion and worldly knowledge. They claim they are chosen, but have no real relationship with Yahusha. They just read scripture to gain knowledge, so they can use it to back up their religious doctrines and old shadow teachings. They teach false truth to people and block them from entering into Yahusha's amazing supernatural power. They are completely controlled by demons, and most of them don't even realize it. Beware, brothers and sisters, of these carpetbaggers. They are in the bride today, trying to block the way, stopping you from coming to Yahusha. So don't take anything they say too seriously. Just run your race, doing the 3 rules, and making sure to love Yahusha and everyone around you. Read the word, listen to Yahusha, and enter into his supernatural presence. So that's going on in the bride right now. There's people, as we were saying before, Lou White and his people and his groups, they're doing that. They're stopping people from coming to Yahusha by mixing Yahusha's word with religion and old shadow teachings and doctrines that are unnecessary, because Yahusha's come and he's fulfilled all of that stuff. But they don't want to accept that. So they're teaching old stuff, and it's setting everyone back. They can't come closer to Yahusha because these carpetbags are standing at the door blocking everyone. So don't come under that, guys. If you come across any of that, just don't go anywhere near it. come to Yahusha, read the scriptures, and so you can actually have a real relationship with him, which none of these people have.
Yeah, it's all about realizing and seeing that those carpetbaggers, you need to see them and notice what they're doing, and just so you can avoid being dragged in by them.
Yeah. So yeah, you can see there's definitely a generation gap in the bride as well, not just out in the world, but the people who are actually immersed in Yahusha have his spirit. There's still a generation gap going on in here between everyone, which shouldn't be happening. As we said before, there shouldn't be a generation gap in the bride because everyone's supposed to be coming together in one mindset. That obviously isn't happening. So we are warning you today, brothers and sisters, stay away from any of that and just come to Yahusha and get to know him and you can feel the love and the joy that you'll get when you do get closer to him. And yeah, so that's all we've got for that chapter today. That's our third chapter, and next week we're going into the interviews. So we've done a bunch of different interviews for the book. We've interviewed our family and friends and just people that we thought would be get an interesting perspective on the generation gap, their experiences that they've had throughout their life. We've got people from all different generations, all different places, so you can get really different perspectives and see what other people think. So that'll be really good. We're starting with the first interview next week, and we'll just keep going through them until we finish them, and then we've got a couple more chapters after that, and then we'll be finished the book. But if you want to get a head start and go through it quicker and see what's going on, then you can check it out on our website. If you go over to our socials, you can get a link, or there'll be a link in the description to this video. You can go check out our website. That'll have our book and a downloadable version if you want to read it offline, or download it and share it to people. So yeah, keep checking your thoughts and be aware of what's going on, not just in the world, but also in the bride.
Don't let the carpetbaggers catch you.
Yeah.
Recognize the generation gap.
Yeah. We'll see you next week, guys.
Bye.
Peace out.
You be tripping, I don't know what about. So what's the problem right now?
Generation
Okay,
gap.
okay, now hold up.